Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahweh Shai, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahweh Shai, Barakata Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kwakadash. Double honors and salutations to the elders and apostles of Great Mystery and Rule Well, and to the Akim around the four corners of the earth, preaching the gospel of Hamashiach Yahweh Shai in sincerity and truth and diligence of mind and faith. To you I say greetings, 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 Brother Nashir, DC Camp, short lesson for the hopeful elect. Yeah, so the curses is just coming upon the earth, okay, and the heathen are experiencing the challenges our people have been accustomed to ever since the Mosai began to jack us up. Because when you read the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28, it tells you about how the Mosai, chastise our people for being disobedient. All right, and then you just understand, man, the Mosai is not joking around, man, when it comes to bringing about judgment. Okay, so I'm going to read the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 17. All right, it says, "Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store." And that's what you have to be aware of when you start a business. You're going to experience a lot of challenges. And Jakes find it hard to keep a business going. To have a long-lasting business is very, very rare. To have a business owned by Jake to last for generations. And you've seen that same thing happening to these heathens too. You see a lot of businesses just closing up shop, and they can't keep up with the losses. They can't keep up, with the, with the muzzling by the government. All right, so it just shows you that the end is around the corner. So I'll play this quick video, and you see how how it is, to have a better understanding of why the Mossad is bringing this place down.
Although most indoor restaurant dining remains closed during the pandemic, dining and dashing is still a problem. KCAL 9's Sarah Donchi shows us how it forced one restaurant owner to close up shop.
I told her, surprise me, give me whatever you have today, greatest hits.
This is a foodie's paradise.
It's amazing. It's top notch, obviously.
Trendy desserts, bowls of piping hot noodles ready for their close-ups, even endorsements from celebrity chef David Chang. Korean fusion cafe Spoon by H had the ingredients to become an LA success story.
During the weekend, it was, line on.
The food is amazing. It's one of the best food. We actually come from Orange County.
But this is the epitome of a small business. Owner and chef Yoonjin Hwang started her restaurant from her love of food and works 15-hour days running it with her mom and brother.
We have no staff. We have no cooks. I have to do everything. So many other, small businesses, we were hit hard by the pandemic.
With so many new takeout orders online and through apps came a new challenge called friendly fraud or chargebacks. It's when a customer orders food, often through a delivery service, receives it, but disputes the charge with their credit card company to get a refund. One day, Yoonjin got her biggest order ever for more than $700.
He came and he picked up the food, and then 1 week later, he disputed the charge.
She lost everything. The food.
Yep, so that's what you have to be aware of, man, when you're starting a business. A lot of folks are desperate out there, and they're going to look for every opportunity to finesse, your to finesse you out of your hard work, and they could decimate your businesses, man. That's why it's important to remember, man. In the book of Amos chapter 2 verse 10 tells you that this place is not your rest. Let me read it real quick, man. Amos chapter 2. Actually, it's Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 10. Salakia. Yeah, Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 10. Yeah, it's really, really necessary, man. Damn. Yeah, I need to wake up. Yeah, it's really one of those days. Actually, yes, like it's Micah chapter 2, verse 10. So it says, Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with the sore destruction. And that's exactly what you have to pay attention to. Man. This place is basically turning into a dog eat dog, a jungle. All right. They're all feeding off each other's weaknesses. So, at the end of the day, man, you have to be aware of, the madness of this place. You can't, expect yourself to keep your roots anchored to Babylon. The Most High has already told you. Micah chapter 2, verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with the sore destruction. And the more you want to keep yourself tied to Babylon, the more headaches and anguish and depressed you're going to be. And you're going to be exceedingly plagued by demons, man. And you just have to learn to cut your losses. And just put your trust in the Lord Hamashiach Yahushai. All right? And, the Lord has already said that Babylon has a short time to rule. So why do you want to hold on to a crumbling system? So you got to be cautious, man. You got to be circumspect. So the book of Sirach, chapter 27, verse 2, tells you that as a nail sticketh fast between the joinings of the stones, so doth sin stick between buying and selling. All right. So people will do anything to make a profit, and people will do anything to get something for free. All right. So whenever there's an opportunity to do so, you're going to see the true colors of people. All right. Regardless of whether Moab is selling, lawful food or unlawful food, folks that see the opportunity to take advantage of it, they will do so. And that's exactly what happened to this business. All right. And the so-called government will do the same thing too. All right. They're going to have to push more regulations to get more money out of the people, out of the businesses. All right. So it's basically they're all turning on each other.
Food, the money, and it kept happening over and over.
I just felt so, incredibly helpless and frustrated.
So she made the decision to close up shop for good. Saturday will be her.
Yeah, so that's what happens. You have to be, in tune with the sign of the times, right? Because the scripture tells you in the time of adversity, that's when you see people's true colors. So, quick precept will be from the book of Matthew. Matthew chapter 24, verse 12. It tells you, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. All right. So all that, let's support small businesses and all that stuff. All that is going to the dumpster, man. It's going down the drain. All right, because people are gonna become what you call it, man, cold. You say evil towards each other, man. Lack of empathy. Just total callousness. So you have to be aware of that, man. When you go shopping and all that stuff, you gotta watch the people around you, man. Just to take notes of their body language and mannerism. All right, because folks are getting desperate out here, man. Scams and schemes and all that stuff. So, hey, be on the lookout. Another precept, book of Sirach, chapter 29, verse 7, says, many therefore have refused to lend for other men's ill dealing, fearing to be defrauded. So a lot of hands are going to be closed, man. A lot of hands are going to become tight-fisted. A lot of people are going to be telling, folks, sorry, we can't help you, because of all the losses they've accrued. And that's one thing our people need to be aware of, man. When Jake sees another Israelite, setting up shop, rather than him supporting that business to grow and to support the people, they rather rob the place and turn the whole environment into a shit show. So that's the reason why you have to get out of Babylon, man, because our people don't really care about organizing for our righteousness, man. It's always about a get rich quick scheme and all these irrelevant vanities of these societies. All right, so you have to understand, man, our people are not really serious when it comes to being free for the right reasons. All right, so another precept will be from the book of Haggai, chapter 1, read verse 6. It tells you have sown much, bring in little. Imagine how much you have to start a business, especially a restaurant. You put in all your investment, just sweat your tears, you borrow money and all that stuff. And then it tells you that you bring in little, there's little traffic, right? Because the economy is going down the drain. So it says, you eat, but you have not enough. You drink, but you are not filled with drink. You clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put into a bag with holes. Yeah, so there is no confidence, man, in Babylon. They always tell you about consumer confidence and all that stuff. Consumer confidence is gone. You're right. There is no faith, in the government like it used to be. A lot of folks are basically throwing their hands in the air, and they're moving on, man. They've turned their back on the government, and you can't really win those folks back, man, because they're woken up. They smell the coffee. They see the shenanigans. They see the scam that both parties, Republicans and Democrats, are running, and they don't want no parts of it. All right. So it's going to be a tense situation to try to control those types of people. All right. And then final precept will be from the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 19, or I believe. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Yep. So it's going to be very, very tough times, man, when everything's basically crumbling, heavily. So it's going to be a trying times.
Last day, much to her customers' dismay.
When I found out it was closing, I was just devastated.
But patrons saw her struggles and stepped in to help, raising more than $60,000 on a GoFundMe page.
It's been wonderful, reminder that there's more good in the people, around us and in our community.
Yoonjin says she'd use some of the money raised for her to pay off bills. And then there is some good news. She says she is considering opening a new venture at some point, but she didn't have details on what that would be or when it could open. In the Fairfax.
Yep. So that's one thing you have to be aware of, man. It breaks people's hearts, man, to want to do something good, but at the end of the day, it doesn't work out because it's a corrupt society. That's why you got to pray for a new kingdom, the kingdom of the Israelites, the kingdom of heaven, wherein dwells righteousness. All right. So that's just the point they argue. Just pay attention, man, to these businesses and understand what they're dealing with. You could ask them, what's the situation with the operations, and they'll be willing to tell you, what they are experiencing. And you understand, man, it's all part of prophecy. All right. So, Ba'ashim Shai, Ba'ashim Kwakadash, keep your eyes open, because we're going to some trying times. Shalom.